Graphics cards are now required for modern computing, and the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti has been around for quite some time. Choosing the proper GPU product can be difficult given the numerous GPU possibilities available. In this video, we will look at the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti specs to see if it's still worth buying in 2023. Also, details about the products we speak about will be linked down in the description. In 2016, NVIDIA released the GeForce GTX 1050 Ti, which included 768 CUDA cores, a base clock speed of 1290 MHz, and 4GB of GDDR5 memory. With a TDP of 75 watts, it is a relatively low power consumption graphics card. In terms of gaming performance, it is capable of running the most recent games at 1080p resolution and medium to high graphics settings. It may, however, struggle with demanding games that require a higher-end graphics card. In terms of benchmark scores, it has a 3D Mark Time Spy score of roughly 6000, which is lower than more current graphics cards such as the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 Ti, which has a score of around 16,000. The GTX 1050 Ti is based on the same GP107 processor as the GTX 1050. However, it is configured differently. The 1050 has fewer CUDA cores, but they run at a faster clock speed. The 1050 is likewise limited to 2GB of RAM. The 1050 Ti has a maximum thermal design power of 75 watts. There's no room for more because the card draws power from the PSU via a PCIe power socket. The GTX 1050 Ti may draw all of its power directly from the PCIe slot. The GTX 1050 Ti is the fastest budget GPU on the market, handily outperforming the RX 464GB, though that card is somewhat less expensive. The RX 460's finest games in our suite are Hitman and Deus Ex, where the 1050 Ti is still approximately 10% faster in most circumstances, though the 460 does manage a tie in DXMD at 1080p medium. In other games, NVIDIA's advantage can be significant, such as the 40 to 50% lead in Civ 6, the 35 to 40% lead in Fallout 4, and up to 70% in GTA 5. Even in traditionally AMD-centric games like Ashes and Doom, the 1050 Ti outperforms the RX 460 by 25 to 30%. In almost every currently available game, it achieves 60 frames per second at good or better quality at 1080p. Of course, overclocking is feasible, and with the EVGA Precision X16, I was able to add another 150 MHz to the core speeds, while the GDDR5 proved capable of plus 350 MHz and more. When combined with enhanced power and thermal targets, as well as greater fan speeds, the GTX 1050 Ti's performance rose by around 10%. To summarize what the GTX 1050 Ti has to offer right now, the GTX 1050 Ti is a low-cost graphics card that can nonetheless perform well in gaming and other graphics-intensive jobs. It doesn't take much power to operate, having a TDP of under 75 watts, making it a good choice for systems with constrained power supply. It is a compact graphics card, making it suitable for installation in small form factor PCs or home theater PC designs. It supports the most recent graphics API, making it compatible with the most recent games and apps. While it may not be as powerful as other newer and more costly graphics cards, its 4GB of GDDR5 memory allows it to perform well in a wide range of games and apps. Overall, the 1050 Ti is alone in the market and is best seen as a low-cost alternative for AAA games played at full HD resolution. Whether or not you can max up your graphical settings depends on how low you like your frame rates, but there isn't a game on the market right now that the 1050 Ti can't handle. Click on the video on your screen to check out more NVIDIA graphics cards.